Good evening, I'm Kimilia and this is KiniNews. Azmin Ali said he has sent a notice to the Selangor State Assembly Speaker on the vacancy of the Selat Klang seat. Selangor opposition leader Azmin Ali has sent a notice of vacancy for the Selat Klang seat to State Assembly Speaker Lau Weng Sang. This came after Selat Klang assemblyperson Abdul Rashid Asari had his Bersatu membership revoked for disregarding a party directive issued on May 17th. Azmin said the notice was sent under Enactment LXVA of the Selangor State Constitution for an unexpected vacancy. He added that the clause states that once the Speaker receives a notice of vacancy from any members of the House, the Speaker must verify its status and inform the Elections Commission within 21 days of receiving the notice. On June 12, Bersatu Secretary General Hamzah Zainuddin issued termination notices to the rogue lawmakers, citing a violation of Article 10.4 of the party constitution. With this, Azmin said Rashid is no longer a Bersatu member, which in turn renders the Selat Klang seat vacant. He added that Rashid had been informed that his Bersatu membership was revoked in a letter sent on June 12. Azam Baki has withdrawn his defamation suit against a whistleblower. MACC Chief Azam Baki has discontinued his defamation suit against whistleblower Lalitha Kunaratnam. This is over an allegation linked to his ownership of shares in two public-listed companies. As a result, the Kuala Lumpur High Court has vacated the initially set July 9th trial date for the civil action. The notice by Azam's counsel stated that the defamation action was discontinued without liberty to file afresh and without any order to cost. The filing also stated that the plaintiff discontinued the action on the basis of no prejudice and without admission of both parties. Azam's legal team had announced the filing of the defamation action on January 12, 2022. The MACC chief was suing Lalitha in his personal capacity. He previously issued a letter of demand to Lalitha via his lawyers, demanding an apology and 10 million ringgit in damages. Lalitha stood by her reports and criticized the MACC's attempt to rope in the police to investigate her. Tengku Zafrul has responded to the issue of Malaysia's drop in the IMD Competitiveness ranking. According to him, the report was based on data from last year and Malaysia is in a stronger position now. Malaysia's decline in the IMD's World Competitiveness Rankings 2024 is due to the weakness of the ringgit last year. This is according to Investment, Trade and Industry Minister Tengku Zafrul Abdul Aziz. He explained that based on the ministry's preliminary study, the primary reason for the country's drop in the index from the 27th place in 2023 to the 34th spot in 2024 was the reliance on 2023 data to measure national competitiveness. Zafrul said this meant that there was a one-year lag, and the factor that had the most significant impact is the stability of the ringgit, as highlighted in the rankings. Elaborating further, Zafrul said the ringgit's weakness last year had various implications, including the valuation of investments, productivity and efficiency, which is closely related to the currency's value, consequently reflecting concerns about economic stability. According to Zafrul, the ringgit was affected in 2023 and had an effect on Malaysia's competitiveness, but now the ringgit has strengthened, and if the same momentum continues, the ranking should improve. He added that the low contribution from the electrical and electronic export sector last year also affected the country's ranking. He explained that this was in tandem with the slowdown in trade worldwide, but this year the sector has improved. Zafrul also said the trade numbers have gone up by about more than 10% in May 2024. Malaysia has slipped by 7 places to 34th out of 67 countries in the IMD's World Competitiveness Ranking 2024 after ranking 27th in the index last year. In the Asia-Pacific region, Malaysia slid by 4 spots to the 10th position out of 14 countries. If you'd like access to news like this and more, subscribe now to Malaysia Kini and support independent media. Ambiga has described awarding MPs lifelong pensions as a disgrace. She said she was against the move, considering their output and service to the people. Former Bersatu chairperson Ambiga Srinivasan said she is against awarding MPs lifelong pensions. This is considering the level of output and service they deliver to the people. The lawyer added that this is also when you consider that MPs can receive a lifelong pension after just serving 1 term. She said it is a disgrace in her view with how many allowances they get considering their output and service to the people. She added that it is a disservice to loyal government servants who have to serve much longer before they are entitled to a pension. Ambiga was responding to an interactive article by KiniNews Lab, which looked into the various types of pensions awaiting MPs who were elected in the two last general elections when they turned 50 and are no longer in office, taking into consideration the different positions held by MPs throughout their career, including at the state level. KiniNews Lab found that some MPs could get more than 30,000 ringgit in monthly pensions once they retire. The debate over the matter had erupted when the government said it is mulling amending the civil service pension scheme and possibly changing it to employees' provident fund contributions in a bid to reduce sizable pension costs. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim had previously said that MPs should do what is morally right by accepting only one of the various pensions they are entitled to, but the decision is up to them.
Wan Faisal wants the Speaker to allow the Dewan Rakyat to debate the government's decision to sell MAHP shares. He said it must be addressed in haste, as the longer we delay this, the more our government will be linked to the inhumane Israeli regime.
Machang MP Wan Ahmad Faisal Wan Ahmad Kamal has filed an emergency motion to the Dewan Rakyat, urging an immediate debate on the government's decision to sell Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad shares. Wan Faisal said the emergency motion was submitted on June 18th and was received by the Dewan Rakyat Speaker's office on June 21st. This came after Khazanah Nasional Berhad announced on May 15th that the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority and global infrastructure partners through GIP Oria would form a consortium to acquire shares in MAHB. The decision courted flack from various quarters after it was found that BlackRock, a company deemed to have close ties with Israel, is in the midst of acquiring GIP. In his letter, Wan Faisal said the matter was of great public interest, noting that a majority of Malaysians condemned the genocide committed against Palestinians in Gaza by the Israeli regime. He said the motion must be addressed in haste, as the longer it is delayed, the more the government will be linked to the inhumane Israeli regime. He added that he hoped the Speaker would consider this motion and issue an approval. Wan Faisal has previously submitted two motions to the Dewan Rakyat to debate the government's stance and the interests of the Malaysian people regarding the issue. Speaking to Malaysia Kini, Wan Faisal's private secretary Mior Nakiuddin explained the emergency motion was submitted as the previous two would only be considered after government affairs are dealt with. He said they had filed this one under Standing Order 18-1 as an emergency motion so that it would be put to debate immediately.
Khairi also commented on the issue. He said he is confident that UMNO will object to the deal if it is brought to the cabinet.
Former UMNO leader Khairi Jamaluddin said he is confident that UMNO ministers would not agree to the takeover of Malaysian Airlines Holdings Berhad by BlackRock, which is accused of supporting Palestinian genocide. He said he is sure that if the matter is brought to cabinet, the UMNO ministers will object. He said this when asked why there was no action from cabinet members regarding the issue of MAHB's takeover by BlackRock at the Reject BlackRock Forum organized by the Palestine Solidarity Secretariat in Kuala Lumpur last night. Commenting further, Khairi, who is a former minister, said most of the time Khazanah National Affairs are not discussed in the cabinet. He said he didn't think the matter was even put before the cabinet because there is usually no need for Khazanah issues to be brought to them. He said it was decided by Khazanah's board of directors and relayed to Khazanah's management. He added that if it involves something that will affect government policy, then the cabinet should be informed. Meanwhile, global infrastructure partners had previously said that BlackRock has not in any way been involved in the transaction relating to MAHB's privatization through the Gateway Development Alliance.
That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.